Hi everyone, my name is Sajay. I am from Marwadi University. I am studying in ICT department. Now I am talking about the topic is framing. In this video, you can learn easily. Hello guys, what is framing? Framing is a point to point connection between two computers or devices consisting of a wire in which data is transmitted as a stream of bits. Means when data is transmitted, it does not travel as one large chunk. Instead, it's broken down into smaller units known as frames. This process is called framing. And also, however, these bits must be framed into blocks of information. Framing is a function of the data link layer. It provides a way for a sender to transmit a set of bits that are meaningful to the receiver. Ethernet, token, ring, frame relay, and other data link layer technologies have their own frame structures. Frames have headers that contain information such as error checking codes. Is framing. Framing is a point-to-point connection between two computers or devices consist of a wire in which data transmitted as a stream bit. And the framing how it's work. The data link layer needs to pack bits into frames so that each frame is distinguishable from another. The data link layer prepares a packet for transport across the local media by encapsulating it with a header and a trailer to create a frame. In a practical way, using an animation, suppose if there are two nodes, this node can be a computer or a router or a switch. This is node A and this is node B, and every node will have an adapter, and this adapter only will be sending the data whatever it receives from the data link layer into signals, and these signals will flow through this cable or in medium. It is received by the physical layer of node B. Now the problem is the application layer creates the data which is a set of zeros and ones, then it goes to the transport layer. In transport layer it's going to add someone's set of zeros and ones. It is the handed over to the network layer. In network layer also it is going to add network layer headers. We call it as packets. So again a set of zeros and ones are added, and then it is go into the data link layer. In data link layer, set of zeros and ones are added in the header part, and set of zeros and ones we added in trailer part. So we have complete set of zeros and ones when we call as a frame, and the set of zeros and ones are packed into a frame, and these frames are understandable only the data link layer. As per a physical layer is concerned, the frame it is set of zeros and ones. The physical layer takes every individual bit, say 1, 0 or and convert into a equivalent signals and set into so is in the physical layer. It does not know anything about the frame, but data link layer only deals with the frame. When the goes and one are sent to the receiver collect all zeros and ones. So the physical layer of the receiver, that is the adapter, collects all the zeros and ones, and it has a construct the frames. But the problem is how to the receiver know that this is the frame. Say for example, the computer is going to send 500 bits of data, where so bit of data belongs to frame 1. When 50 bits are sent, all the 50 signals are received, and the receivers adapter receiver all the 50 signals, and how this receiver knows that upon to 50 signals and frame 1 or upon to 50 bits or frame 1. Add this in the problem, and we are going to deal with the problem and with a solution, and we understand that between adapters bits are going to flow, and between nodes we can say there are frames. Bits flow between adapter and frames, flow between OS and between nodes. Frame header. It contains the source and the destination address of the frame. Next, payload field. It contains the message to be delivered. Finally, trailer. It contains the error detection and error correction bits. It contains bits of information that can be used to detect and even correct any mistakes that might have occurred during transmission. It is called the trailer. Basic format of framing. In header, this is like the address and metadata on a package. It contains start of frame or start delimiter, frame number and frame size and protocol details and MAC of transmitter or receiver and IP of transmitter or receiver. Next, heading of the trailer. This is like a checksum at the end of the package. It contains end of frame or end delimiter. And next, CRC checksum means error detection code to verify data. Suppose there are two computers. Let's say these two computers are happy computers. Why? Because they are ready for data exchange. When the sequence of bits are sent by the sender computer, that is the computer. How does the receiver computer understand? Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3, etc. Before they start the communication, they mutually agree upon a protocol, because protocol define the rule and regulation, the governance, the data communication. So here also the protocol defines a rule. Let the rule be protocol, let the start of frame and end of frame be 11011. When the sender computer receive a packet from the network layer, it is going to add a header and the trailer. The header, it is going to add this information, that is 11011, and trailer part also going add 11011. There are other information also need with the header and trailer, but I am only concerned about the start of the frame. Let's assume that 11011 in the start of the frame and 11011 as the end of the frame. Let's see whether two computers are agreeing upon this protocol. This computer is agreeing upon the protocol and this computer is also agreeing protocol. Since common protocol in this between both sender and the receiver, now this communication can be effectiveness. The sender is going to send the data. If you notice, the sender is creating the data and the frame. Now this is the data that is generated by the sender computer. We can notice that is the start of the frame and this is the end of the frame. Let's say this is what is the information we receive from the network layer, that is the packet, and with the packet it is going to add some header and trailer, and this is the start of the frame, it is 11011, and this is end of the frame, it is the 11011. When the data is accepted by the receiver, it understand that is the end of the frame, and frame is accepted. Why? Because this node also known as that the start of the frame is 11011 and end of the frame is 11011, and there is a serious problem here. Let's see what's that happen problem now here. Figure out any problem in this scenario. Let's say this is data generated by this is what the frame is, because we have a starting sequence that is 11011 and we have a ending sequence that is 11011. Can you notice there is a problem here? If you want, I will give clue. And this is problem actually. This is a sequence that is 11011 in the data part also. According to the sender, whatever if has received from the network layer, it add the start of the sequence and end of the sequence.
but this data is now where related with the data link layer, and we can understand from this scenario that
Hello guys, look at the image. We have two computers connected to send data. We had special markers to the beginning and end of the data stream. These markers are called the start of the frame and end of the frame. In this example, start of the frame is the bit pattern 11011, and in this example the end of the frame is also known as a 11011, and middle is shown as data or payload. Means this is the core of the frame where the actual message or information reside. It could be anything from text to images. See the image, framing error, and this is a data which is resembling the start of the frame as well of the end of the frame. So when the receiver computer receives the information, it understands that is the end of the frame, because the adapter of the receiver receives continuous zeros and ones. Whenever it receives 11011, it understands that's the start of the frame and understand this 00000. All these are data, and whenever it receives 11011, it understands this end of the frame. So according to this receiver, it understands this is a frame. Actually this is not the frame that was created by the sender. When the receiver constructs this as a frame, this is what we call as framing error. We don't expect our receiver to create a frame like this. This is the problem, because we say that the bit sequence is the start of the frame and end of the frame, and there are chance for the same sequence to appear in the data part also, or in the payload part also, and the framing error has to be handled. Thank you guys.